Figuring, which was a film I did before Fonso. You know, at the moment we have the Portuguese subtitle, Spanish subtitle, French subtitle, English subtitle, and everywhere those films are screened, you know, whether Japan or India or, you know, I've never done a dub, you know, or anything. It's just been translation. And recently, yesterday I was telling them about this film, Untouchable, which I saw on the plane. It's a French film about this cripple who employed a black guy, you know, for me, that is one of the best films I've seen in recent time, you know, and, you know, it has so much humor, and I only read the sub because it's French, you know, I read the subtitle, and I got it straight. Dub will work for some films, but it's not going to work for a film like Fonso. I doubt it. You know, because we are all here from different regions and and yesterday everybody was laughing, you know, hitting into one another. Even the cocky English people, when we premiered, you know, it was the same reaction. So I'm like, okay, so the world can actually come together, you know, watching, or, you know, like we do when we watch football, you know. So we just need to find a balance, identify the films that will run better, you know, with dubbing, and those that, you know, will do better with translation or subtitle.
Just maybe to make a point about international markets, I think there is a question in the choice between dubbing and subtitling, which concerns also the cultural habits. In some countries, I think, for example, about Italy, my country, or Spain, or even France, television is always that. People are not accustomed to watch subtitled films. So I think that is an important question. When you think about export of your films, you think only about the African diaspora abroad, or do you think about, for example, the Italians in Italy? Because if you think about Italian audiences, they will need dubbing. They have not the habit to watch subtitled films. So in some countries, you don't really have a choice. In France, this is very peculiar because even in cinemas, in theatrical release, you can choose for most of the films between subtitling and dubbing. But in television, almost everything, I don't know if
everything is
dubbed, so you don't have the choice if you want. And of course, dubbing is a very particular kind of translation.
I agree, that's a key question, because before dubbing, then the question is, what is the target for which country? Typically in France, are you targeting the diaspora or even diaspora-related people? And that's the key question. Or the French guys and girls learning more about the Nollywood culture as a whole and trying to dig into what's behind what they see. And second point, very important in my mind, is, okay, dubbing is one thing, and you have expressed that when the film is dubbed, there's a lot of inside atmosphere which is totally lost. And even though the problem now is that the films are being promoted by short video trailers. So, and maybe first discovery of the film would be through OTT platforms like YouTube and others, where the public will learn about the film through some very short video. And then it's a real difficulty, but a real gap to fill in, is to be able to choose the right sequence of video, 20 seconds, that will give the most interest and atmosphere of this film towards the targeted public. First. Secondly, that this sequence, very short, is being dubbed very finely to help the public really understand what the film is about. Otherwise, you've got people that will start being interested in Nollywood content, Nollywood films. But their first experience will be through bad dubbing, bad video extracts, bad trailers, and then they won't come to movie features, they won't come to online streamings because it's not monetized. So this very short, this first step is what's the target, and how your set of tools, marketing tools and video content is targeted at this target, whether it's on the desktops or not.
Sorry, just to say one thing quickly about the issue of dubbing and translation. I'm a dancer, I'm a choreographer, and most of my works are always either in English or in Yoruba. We sing and we dance, and we don't expect people to expect me to translate the music, for example. But there's something that is important. The last few performances I made, some people were really angry that I wasn't speaking French. And that was in Paris. Then the last one I made in Lyon now, just like 3 days ago, I spoke to the audience in English. I told them when we were in Paris, people were angry that we didn't speak French. So now we're going to speak French. And they were really happy. And I thought maybe me deciding not to speak French on stage, maybe I'm just losing audience in France.
Yeah, definitely.
No, sorry, let me just finish that. Bro, sorry. So I was saying, I know that in terms of me speaking French, that is to say I've gone from Yoruba, translating into English, then translating into French. So I personally know that I'm going to lose subtlety in the way I say it. But at least the people right in front of me right now, they get me more than if I had spoken Yoruba or if I had spoken English. So is it about me or is it about them? That was my first question to myself. Then I realized that even though some people, as of today in France, a lot of French people will prefer to go to a cinema and watch the original version, subtitled, but still doesn't stop the fact that there's still a lot of people who want to hear it in French because they don't know how to read fast or they don't understand English. So I think the two ideas of dubbing and of subtitling is a question of choice now. If we have a DVD, we have the version dubbed and we have the version subtitled. Then people can choose between the two. But personally, I think with someone like Emile, he was the one that did the dubbing for Last King of Scotland, for example. He knows what it means that maybe he can talk about that maybe.
Right. What I was going to